Hey everybody, welcome back to When Harry Met Board Games, where we feed our people with relatable content and our victory condition is your satisfaction. I'm Harry and today we'll be doing another playthrough. Today I'll be playing through this game right here, Battleline, also known as Schotten Totten, designed by Reiner Knizia and published by GMT Games. This is what the game looks like set up. I will be playing solo. This is a two-player only game, but I will be playing with a solo variant that I myself have been working on for some time. So first of all, you deal 7 cards to each player. Just like in a regular game, you will be playing with a dummy or AI automa opponent. You line up these red pawns here, which represent different flags that you're trying to capture and also designate 9 different areas where players will be playing their cards for in order to win that flag, right? So there are 3 imaginary slots that each player is trying to place down in each respective space. And also, let me just describe how the deck of cards works. So there's 6 cards. There's orange, yellow, red, green, purple, and blue. And each of these cards have cards with numbered values from 1 through 10. So there's 60 cards in total in the deck. This is a perfect information game where players can use card counting and probability and process of elimination to factor in what may or may not happen. However, for my solo variant, if you want to add a little bit more challenge, you can raise the difficulty level to medium by randomly removing 2 cards from the deck, and you could raise the difficulty level even further to hard by randomly removing 4 cards from the deck. I am playing at the easiest level. All cards are there, so I do have perfect information. So players are trying to place cards down in order to accomplish certain army formations. And you will be comparing the formations from one opponent versus the other on the same side or on the same flag and seeing who has the most valuable formation. And there's 5 different formations in different ranking orders. The number 1 ranked formation is 3 consecutive values with the same color. And you don't necessarily have to play them in a row or consecutively. They just have to be consecutive. So for example, you could play a 4, then a 5, and then a 3. And those are 3 consecutive values. And if they're the same color, that is the highest possible formation you can have. The second highest formation is 3 of the same number. The third highest rank is 3 cards of the same color. The 4th highest rank is 3 consecutive values of any color. And then the 5th rank is just basically any random amalgamation of cards, and then you just total up their values. Players are going to be playing on opposite sides. Whoever has the highest ranked formation will win that flag. However, if you both have the same ranked formation, then you go to the number values, total them up, and whoever has the highest total value wins. In this game, even if you have 3 cards, but someone has not placed all their cards, that might hold you hostage until you can mathematically prove that there's no way of losing, you losing that flag. And that's where the twist comes with the perfect information, because as long as in the visible player area, you can mathematically prove that, then it's all good. You cannot reveal your hand of cards to show, hey, I've got this number card and you're never going to get it. If I ever want to prove that, then I'm going to have to play that numbered card into the visible play area in order to be able to use it to my purposes of proving that I can win an area. Okay, so now with that being said, let's actually simulate some gameplay. So I'm going to go first. The human player always goes first in my variant. And I'm going to start by placing a 10 right here on the middle red flag right here, a 10 yellow. And then at the end of your turn, you draw a card so that you replenish back to a hand of 7. Now, the way the dummy player takes out their turn or executes their turn is you shuffle their hand of 7 cards each time. You randomly draw one. Not looking. And then you draw another one from the deck. And then you compare the 2, and the first thing that you're factoring in is which one is most beneficial to the dummy player. Right now, the dummy player has no cards out there, so they are equal to the dummy player. After you factor that in, you then determine which one is most detrimental to you, the human player. And in this case, again, either one of them does the same to us. And then finally, after that, you break the tie by the highest valued number. So here we go. We go to the highest valued number, which is the 8. And If there ever is a tie in numerical value, the way I break the tie is I look at the cards that I have the least colors for on the board, and that's the card that I pick. But in this case, the 8 is higher than the 7. And then I put it on the leftmost flag, right? The leftmost flag that is empty. All right, and then we're done. This will be part of their hand. All right, so now the human player will go back and do another turn. I could try to get a 10-9-8, which is the highest possible formation, or I could try to do a set of 3 of the same number, which is the second highest formation. But for now, I know that I've got the 4, 3, and 2 green, which will give me the highest ranked formation possible, albeit with low valued numbers. But this is pretty good. By the way, real quick, the end game condition is to be the first player to capture 5 of these red flags. I forgot to mention that. But there's an alternative way of winning that's even quicker. If you could capture 3 flags that are adjacent to one another, then you could win the game even quicker. So you really want to protect those areas that are next to each other. So I'm going to start by placing the 4 right here. And the reason I'm putting the 4 is just in case I happen to draw the green 5 or even the green 5 and 6, and I could still get the 3 in a row, but of a higher value, I'm holding out for that, right? So let's draw a card. I drew an 8 red. We're done with my turn. So again, we're back to the dummies player's turn. Again, we're going to shuffle their cards, draw one randomly. We've got the 10 purple, and we've got the 9 purple. So they're in really good situation here. So again, we look at which is the most valuable to the dummy player, and they're all the same, which is the most harmful to the human player. And basically, the 10 would be detrimental because it would prevent them from having or lower their chances of being able to get a 3-10. Plus, also, it breaks the tie as far as which is the highest out of these 2. So I'll place the 10 to the leftmost empty space, and we'll add the 9 to its hand of cards. And now we're back to the human player's turn. And the human player, let's see. I'm going to place this, this 2 right here. I'm going to place it right here. I have the chance, perhaps, of getting 3 2s of a kind. If I draw another green, I could reserve this 2 for this battlefield, so that's also very helpful. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set that aside over there, and it still buys me time to hopefully draw another 10, or maybe even a 9 yellow, and also to draw maybe a 5 or a 6 green. So let's see what I draw. I draw a 9 red, but that's also going to be helpful towards this 9 and 8 over here. Okay, so we are done with that. Now it's the dummy player's turn. We're going to shuffle their cards. All right. And they are going to reveal a 7 purple. And then draw the top card from the deck, and that's a 1 orange. So we look at which is the most valuable to them, and they're all the same. They're all equal. What's this card here? Did I forget to put a card back? Yes, that's from them. All right, so, yep, that's theirs. So they're all equal. As far as detriment to the human player, they're all equal as well. So we're going to break the tie to the highest value, which is the 7. Place it in the leftmost empty slot right here. And add this back to their hand. And we're done with the dummy player's turn yet again. All right, so I am going to start trying to invest in this red. And I feel a little bit more confident about the red than the purple. One of the reasons I didn't put the purple adjacent to these 3 is because I want to try to put my heavy hitters in the adjacent spaces to increase my chances of getting those 3 in a row. So I'm going to put the 8 red, because by putting the 8 red, I leave myself open still to the possibility of drawing the 10 red, but also to the possibility of drawing the 7 red, right? All right, so there's that. Let's draw a card, and I drew a 1 purple. So I could try to go for the 1, 2, 3 purple here instead of the 3 2s of a kind. We'll see. All right, so we're done with that. We're back to the dummy player's turn. We will shuffle these cards here. We will draw one at random from their hand, a 7 orange, and one from the top of the deck, the 5 orange. All right, so these here, which is the most helpful to the dummy player? Well, the 7 is the most helpful to the dummy player because they could start the second highest ranked formation possible, which is the 3 of the same number. Now, the thing is, the way I play for this dummy variant is the dummy player never ever settles for the 4th or 5th ranked formations. They're always trying to go for the number 1, number 2, or number 3 ranked formation, and obviously preferring the higher ranked ones. But the number 4 and the number 5, they're not even considering those. So we will add the 7 over here, and we'll place that right there. Okay, so now the human player will go again, and things are getting interesting. I'm going to play this 3. I'm going to give up on the possibility of getting the 5 and the 6. I still might be able to get the 5, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to play the 3 right here. And I am going to draw a card. And I drew the 3 yellow. All right. So now we'll go with the dummy player's turn again. Shuffle up their hand of cards. Draw one at random, the 5 orange. Draw one from the top, the 1 blue. So we look at which is the most helpful to them. They're all the same. Which is the most detrimental to the human player. All the same. We break the tie to the highest number. And then we put it in the leftmost empty slot. All right. Put this back in their hand. We move on to the human player's turn. And I think... All right. So I'm going to settle for the... I'm going to just place this 9 red right here. And hope for the best. And I drew a 4 purple. That means if I draw the 3 purple... it will be pretty good for me. Okay, so we're done with that. Time for the dummy player's turn. All right. And we'll draw 1 card at random, the 10 red. So it's good to know for me. Sometimes you have a little bit more information by playing this way that I will not be able to get the 10 red. So I'm really hoping for that 7 red. So we've got this, and we look at these, and which is the most beneficial to the dummy player. And the truth is, while the 10 is very beneficial to the dummy player, it's not the highest ranked. So again, you kind of have to use a little bit of your logic because it's actually more detrimental to them to be able to place this here, get a set of 5s, and also prevent the human player, which is me, from getting the higher ranked 5, 4, and 3. So now the human player will have to settle for a lower number, right? In this case, I happen to have the 2. But the dummy player technically does not know that. All right, so now we move on to my turn yet again. And now that I know that there is no 5, there's no possibility of the 5, I might as well just get rid of this 2. Now, I still don't earn this flag because I have to be able to mathematically prove that I can win this. And right now, it's impossible to mathematically prove that because they don't have a single card here. So I don't even know what kind of formation they're going to go here. So to some extent, I'm being held hostage, right? You can feel like you're doing really, really good, but until certain players place cards, and there is a little bit of a game of chicken going on, you know, holding back as long as possible to preserve, you might know that you've lost a flag, but you don't want to let your opponent be able to confirm that mathematically. All right, so we're done with that. I think I have a good chance of winning that later on. All right, I drew a card, a 1 green. We'll proceed to the dummy player's turn. And the dummy player will draw 1 card at random, a 1 blue, and the top card of the deck, a blue 8. And we're going to look at these and see which is the most valuable to the dummy player. And it is this blue 8 because they could place it here to try to get a set of 8s, which again, a set of 3 cards of the same number is the second highest possible formation. So that's actually pretty good. All right, so we're done with the dummy player's turn. Now it is the human player's turn. And I got to think things through. I still have a good chance of getting the 10, 9, 8 that I know of. They're still out there. So I want to hold on for a little bit with that. I want to think about where I could throw. You want to think about, sometimes you throw away cards. You basically place them because they're clogging up your hand. So this 1 is not going to do anything for me unless I try to get 3 1s of a kind, which wouldn't even be able to beat this 8. I might want to throw this here. There's a good chance that this player will be able to accomplish. I pretty much remember he has a 9 purple, I believe. There's a good chance that he'll be able to accomplish this and beat me. But in the event that he fails, if I get 3 of a kind, the second highest formation, I might be able to beat him out. So I'm just going to play that 1 green right there. It has no other use to me. And I'll draw this 4 yellow, which is pretty good because I got a 4 and a 3. I also want to save this 1 purple for as long as I can because I might, if I draw the purple 3, go into this area here and try to get the highest rank formation, which is 3 consecutive values of the same color. All right, so we move on back to the dummy player's turn. We shuffle up their hand. We draw 1 card at random, the 1 blue, plus the top card of the deck, which is the 6 purple. And we look at this, And we see which is the most beneficial. 3 of the same color, that would be the 4th highest ranked formation, which the dummy player does not even consider. They're only considering the 3 highest. Oh, I'm sorry, that is the 3rd highest formation. They do consider 3 of the same color. So we might look into that. That's the most helpful to them. Yes, it is. All right, so they will go for the 3rd highest ranked formation right here, the 3 of the same color. And we'll add this to their hand. All right, so now it's back to my turn. Again, I want to hold on to this 1. I also want to hold on to this 4, because if I get the 3, this 4 would be very, very valuable. So I might not even need this 1 right here. This is a tough one. So let's see. If I play this 4, I could hold out for the 4, 3, and 2 yellow, or the 5, 4, and 3 yellow. So those are both very good. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Or I'm going to go over here, actually, in hopes that I can win this formation. Actually, no, I'm going to go over here. This is empty. But then they might, yeah, I'm going to go over here. 4, I'm going to place the 4 yellow right there. And I'm going to draw a card, and I drew the 9 green for whatever that's worth. All right, we go back to the dummy player's turn. We shuffle these cards here. We draw 1 at random. We've got the 1 blue yet again. That one keeps on coming out. It's persevering. And we've got the 3 blue. Okay, so the dummy player is going to look which is the most beneficial. They're equally of no use to him. Which is the most harmful to the human player? And it would be this 1 blue, because it would decrease their chances of being able to play 3 ones of a kind. So you look for the leftmost empty spot and you place that card there. All right, so then it's the human player's turn. And we're going to throw down this 3 yellow and draw a card. I drew a 2 red, so now I got a 3 and a 2 red. That's not too shabby. Now we move on to the dummy player's turn. We're going to draw a card, and at least I know it won't be the 1 blue anymore because it finally got played. And at random, we drew the 10 red. Okay, and we got the 10 green, so this guy's going to do some damage. So we look at the card that's the most valuable to the dummy player, and in this case, they're both equally as valuable. Then we look to what's most detrimental to the human player, and it is the 10 red, because if the human player, you could prove that the human player will not be able to get the 10, 9, and 8 combination. So they're going to choose the 10 red, and then the dummy player is going to, they're going to play in the leftmost empty space right there. Okay, now it is the human player's turn again, so I'm really hoping for that 7 red, now that I know I can't get a 10, 9, 8. And let's see what I'm going to do here. I'm really still hoping for that purple 3. I'm hoping for a 5 yellow or a 2 yellow. I'm just going to play a very valuable card right here, this 9 green. And I'm going to play it here to see, or maybe, you know what? I'm going to play it here. How many 9s are on the table? There's only 1, 2 9s on the table. So there's still a good chance for me to get 3 9s in a row. And by placing it here, I give myself a good chance of going toe-to-toe with what he's aiming for, which is 3 8s. And then I'll draw a card, and I drew a 5 yellow, which is exactly one of the cards that I needed. Hooray! This is awesome. All right, so we will shuffle here for the dummy player. Okay. And we will draw a card at random. We've got the 9 purple. And we've got the 4 orange. So we look at what's most helpful to the dummy player, and it's definitely this 9 purple right here. And now they've got 3 in a row of the same color. Now the dummy player has a self-created advantage for this variant that I created. It's that if they can prove that you cannot beat their formation, they can actually use their hand of cards in order to help in that proving. Usually to prove it, you have to work with the visible common information. So we will look here, and the dummy player possesses 2 1s. There are 6 1s in the game. So there's 2 in their hand, a 3rd one here, and a 4th one here. So the human player still has a chance of getting, they're still 2 more ones out there in the game. So the human player still has a chance of beating them, because if they get 3 ones, that'll be 3 numbers, 3 cards of the same value, which is the second highest rank, as opposed to 3 cards of the same color, which is the third highest rank, right? So there's still a chance for the human player to beat them, so they cannot claim that flag just yet. Okay, so now it's the human player's turn. And again, also, another thing that I do have a chance, well, no, actually, no, I can't do the 1, 2, 3, that's proven. So I need to have 3 of the same number. Do I want to spend this? I guess if I draw a 3 anyways, I'd be able to use this 4. So this 1 serves no other purpose. So I'm going to play this 1 right here, and I'm going to draw a card. Okay, and I drew a 7 7 yellow. All right, so let's see what we do here. The dummy player is going to go again. Alrighties. And the dummy player will draw this 3 blue and a 6 green. So we're going to look and see what's the most beneficial to them. And it doesn't look like either one is of any value to them. We're going to see what's most detrimental to the human player. And again, nothing looks like it's of equal value. So we're going to go for this 6 green, which is the higher number of the 2. And we're going to place it in the leftmost empty slot right there. Okay, now it's the human player's turn. And the human player will play their 5 yellow right here and draw a card. So I have a really good chance of winning these 2 formations or these 2 flags, although I need some of these cards to start filling up. So that's an advantage that the dummy player has. They spread out very, very thin. All right, so now the dummy player is going to go, oh, sorry. You shuffle their hand of cards. Shuffle their hand of cards. You draw 1 card, the 10 green, and you flip over the top one, the 7 red. All right, so you look at them and you say, which is the most valuable to the dummy player? And from what's here, we would say that this would normally be the most valuable because it would be 3 of the same value. However, we already know what this person has accomplished, which is the 3 consecutive values of the same color, which is the highest formation. So putting this here would actually guarantee their flag. So that would not be the most valuable action we can do. Also, going here would not be the most valuable because, again, the player, well, actually, no, we know that they have a 7. So we actually know that we would have a really good chance of winning if we could get 3 of the same color and have the highest values. So we will put this right here to compete. This guy has no chance anymore of doing 3 of the same number. He's going to have to do 3 of the same color and try to compete with their values. Currently, the value of 9 plus 8 is 17, and 10 plus 6 is 16. So the human player, me, has a slight edge. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we proceed to the next turn here. And I've got this 10 and this 9, which is looking really good. I don't know if I want to place this 9 here or try to get a 10, 9, 8. The 8 orange is not on the table, so there's still that. That feels a little bit risky to me. It feels a little bit risky. So for now, I'm actually going to play this 2 red right here. And that gives me a few avenues I could pursue. I could try to do the 2, 3, and 4 red, or I can try to do multiples of 2. But multiples of 2 would not beat multiples of 7. Oh, man, this is a really tough decision, folks. Tough decision. How many 10s are out there? There's 1 10, there's 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s. I have a 5th 10. So the last 10 remaining is which one? It's the green 10. No, the green 10 is out there. I believe they might, the blue 10 is out there. I believe they might have had it. This is a really tough call, folks. Really tough call. Either way, there's going to be a risk. So that's something I'm going to have to accept. So I'm going to put the 4 purple right here and hope for the best. And I drew a 2. Oh, this is pitiful. All right, so we are done with that. We will shuffle with the dummy player. I'm going to need a little bit of a miracle, folks. And we'll draw this 7 randomly in the top part of the deck, which is the 8 orange. So I know that the 8 orange is an impossibility. So with that, we're going to look at what is the most valuable for them. And the most valuable here is the 8 orange because it gives them 3 8s of a kind. So they will have 3 of the same value. And hopefully, unless the human player can place nines there, 3 nines, and we will count the nines. There's 1 9 on the table. There are 2 9s on the table. There are 3 9s on the table. We'll look here, see if for whatever reason, nope, they don't have any 9s. So there's still enough 9s for the human player to win that formation. Okay, so now it's going to be the human player's turn. And the human player is going to place a 10 down here. Now that they know that they can't get the 10, 9, 8 orange. Oh, and just like that, this is actually not bad. I could beat them over here. Oh, okay, that's really good. Yay! Sometimes things don't turn out the way you planned, but, you know, they actually turn out even better. All right, so here we go. We draw the random card. It's a 3 orange. We flip over the top card. It's a 4 red. We see what is most helpful to the dummy player, and they are basically of equal value. Actually, no, this here would give them 3 of the same color, which right here, they're not going to be able to do much more than that anyways. So there's that. Oh, but wait a second. Now, this would actually confirm their victory, actually. I'm sorry, because 3 of the same color would not beat that. So instead, we're going to look to see what's the most detrimental to the human player. It's equal. So now we'll break the tie and then place this on the leftmost empty slot right there. Okay, now we will go to the human player's turn. And the human player will place down their 9 orange right here and draw a card. And I drew a 5 blue. Okay, so now the dummy player will shuffle and they will draw a card at random along with the top card of the deck. They've got the 5 red, so they're definitely going to play this. This would be the most helpful to them, because if they get a 3-6, which is not possible because I have it, but they don't know that, or if they get a 6 red, they would be able to beat me here. So that will be very interesting. Let's see if it happens. All right, and then finally I will go with the human player, and I will play this 9 right here and finally capture the first flag of the game, because we have the same kind of formation, 3 of the same number value, but I have the higher value, the 9s. So the human player captures the first flag. Again, the first player to capture either 5 or 3 consecutive, 3 adjacent ones, will be the winner. We will shuffle here for the dummy player and draw a random card, a 3 orange. The top card of the deck is a 7. And we'll look to see what is the most beneficial. And it is clearly this 7, because this 7 can give them 3 of a kind. It would also give them 3 colored numbers, but 3 of a kind is of higher rank, so this is more beneficial to them. Okay, we're done with the dummy player's turn. And I could try to go for an 8-7-6 yellow. I think the 8-7-6 yellow, the 6 yellow might still be out there. Going for 3 2s of a kind right now is irrelevant, I find. And throwing a weak red to here is pretty much throwing in the towel as far as they're concerned. Let me just confirm that I cannot win these. I cannot confirm this one. There's not enough information there yet. As a matter of fact, I think I can confirm this one. They cannot get 3 of a kind here because they would need a 10, 9, 8. And here we've got the 9 and 8. So that's not going to happen. So we're going to grab this one. We've confirmed that one. So what else over here? This cannot be confirmed. This, until we know that the 6 red is out there, we cannot confirm that they cannot beat us there. Okay, so there's that. Let me see which one I want to play. And this is getting really, really tough. You know what? I might just play this 8 over here. Hope for either 3 8s. Can 3 8s happen? Are there any other 8s out there? There's 3 8s right here. There are no other 8s that I see of on the board. Oh, no, there's a 4th 8. So I cannot get a 3 8. The only way I could beat him here is with an 8, 7, and 5. That is a little bit risky. So I'm actually going to move this over here. 8, 8, 7, 6. Or if not, some high-valued cards. All right, so I drew this 9 blue for whatever that's worth. And now we will shuffle here. And we will draw 1 random card for the dummy player, the 1 red, and this 6 yellow, which is lousy news for me, folks. So we're going to look at what's the most helpful to the dummy player here. And the most helpful one here. All right, folks, so we've skipped over a little bit, and I have captured 3 flags now by proving that it's mathematically impossible for the dummy player to beat me here, because to get an equal formation, they would need another green card, and all 10 green cards are out on the table. So I have a 3-0 lead. I am playing on easy mode, guys, so cut the dummy player some slack. If I was playing on medium or difficult, there's a better chance that I'd be losing right now. So it's the dummy player's turn right now. They're going to draw a random card, a 3 blue and a 1 yellow. We're going to see what is the most helpful card to them right here. And it's going to be this 3 blue. Actually, it's not, because that 3 blue would confirm that they are not going to be able to pass that. So it's not going to be the 3 blue. It's not going to be the 1 yellow. So we're going to see what's the most detrimental to the human player. And it's definitely the 1 yellow, because the human player could try to play this one here and then beat them, because here you have 3 of the same color, but here you have 3 of the same number, which is a higher ranking. So we're going to play this one, and normally what happens is you find the empty leftmost space, but all the spaces are filled. So now we look for the next level of cards that have 1 card on them, or well, in this case, the one that has the least is the 1, and there's only 1 section here that has 1. So we'll place it here, and it's irrelevant to the dummy player because they've lost this area anyways. So we're done with the dummy player's turn. Now it is the human player's turn, and we're gonna see here. If I play a really high card here, I pretty much guarantee myself the win. Ooh, I got this 6 red that I just drew recently. I'm going to play this here, and what this does is, first of all, it confirms that they're not going to be able to beat me here, because we're both going to have the 5th highest formation, which is just a random formation with just a bunch of cards and totaling their number values. I have a 10, a 10, and a 6. That's 26. They have 11. There's no way their 3rd card is going to give them 15, so it's mathematically impossible. So I win the game because this is my 4th flag, but it happens to be my 3rd in a consecutive or adjacent row. But also what this 6 does too is that it confirmed that this guy can't beat me over here either, because I have the highest ranked formation here, which is 3 consecutive values of the same color. They were going for the same thing, but they would have needed either a red 3, which is right here, or a red 6, which I just played right here, so they can't win that anyways. So I actually won 5 flags, and it happens that 4 of them were adjacent to one another. And that's it, folks. That's how you play Battleline. This is a good idea of how the game is played when you play with 2 players, but also this is my solo variant for those of you who enjoy the game, but may not always have someone to play with and like playing solo. So please comment down below. Tell me what you think about my solo variant. Perhaps you think it's stupid and silly. Perhaps you saw many of the flaws that I was unable to see. But so far, I've had fun playing with this variant. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at When Harry Met Board Games. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.